hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you all are doing well. So already we have discussed in first video lots of things. So how we are going to prepare our interview process, how we are going to crack the interview, if you are a beginner or if you are experienced guys. Correct? That all the things we have discussed. Correct. So but that day I have missed out one thing to discuss. So what I think is that, so once you're going to attend any interview, so we need to follow some basic template, okay, basic thumb rules we can say also in other words, correct? So we should have cool and calm. Second thing, we should have the more confident, okay, and third thing, we should have more powerful things, listening, okay. So listening is the more powerful instrument for us, right? So if you are good listener, so many things will become very easy, okay. In the interview process also, see, if we are good listener, so whenever any interview asks any question, so we need to concentrate whatever he is going to ask the question, okay. So if we'll listen very carefully, so many things will clear while we are giving the reply to them, correct? So we need to more concentrate on the listening, so more powerful things, correct? So we should have cool and calm and confident we should have, and third thing, more listening power we should have. So all these three things if we will have, so we will attend any interview very smoothly, correct? Why I'm asking this thing? Because all the things is very helpful to attend any interview, correct? Because if you listen very carefully, correct, so whatever they ask the question, so we are given to very effective answer. We may not lag any places. If you are not concentrate on the listening things, so that means you may lag while you are giving to answer. Lots of candidate is doing such mistake. He and she is not listening properly while giving the answer here and there. We asked different question and he answering different things. Why? Because they didn't understand properly, because they didn't listen properly, okay. So I missed out these three things in that first discussion. So we need to follow before attending any interview. If we'll follow all these things, so our interview process it will become very smooth and we can crack. Got it, right? Okay. So now we'll jump in our today agenda. What is our today agenda? Agenda is very clear, very crystal clear, we can say, very simple. So this whatever agenda is today, that is one popular question we can say, which asked almost every interview, we can say in that way. So in every interview this question asked by the interviewer most of the time, not we can say every interview, but most of the time. If you attend any interview, the person already have attend already earlier interview, so definitely you feel yes, correct, this question asked by most of the interviewer. Can you guess this topic what we are going to discuss today? That topic name is solid principle. What principle? Solid principle. That is a very popular question. It may asked by most of the interviewer. Sometimes in the starting of the interview they may ask, or sometimes this question may come in mid of the your interview, okay. Because this is the very important, because if you know this solid principle, so your implementation, what I've discussed last video, right? So concern of the coding part, right? So coding part means we need to follow some thumb rule, right? So in that thumb rule, this principle will justify your answer, correct? So first we'll discuss what is solid principle, why it's need, okay. Then we'll discuss what is exactly the meaning for each and every acronym for the solid? SOLID. So each and every character for the solid, so it has some specification, it has some specific meaning for that. Okay, so let's start for this solid principle. So we have lots of principle, right? So among that in Java also one principle, solid principle. Not too much things discussed here. So it is just such a principle, right? So by which we can design our software. In other way, we can say it is such type of principle by which we can design our software. Okay, and it depends upon the some approach. That approach belongs to what? Object oriented approach. What approach? Object oriented approach. So the approach behind this designing the principle, designing the software, that is the object oriented. Okay, so that is the main things. If you need to define in a single line what is solid principle, once we are going to design any software, we need to follow some object oriented approach. This is called the solid principle. Got it? So with this solid principle, we ensure that some we can say some rules, not rules, we can say in a general way. So that is some basic template like that. Okay, that is the first, right? That with this principle, it ensures that. So first thing, that is easy to understand. With this principle, if you are going to design software, so it will be very easy to understand. Correct? Second thing is what? It should be debuggable. Okay. Third thing, it should be refactorable. Okay. And last one, it ensures that also it is modular design. So what we have told, 3 to 4 terms I have told, right? So it should be modular, it should be easy to understand, it should be refactorable, and last, it should be debuggable. Okay, so these 4 things keep in mind. So by this principle, what we can achieve, what we can achieve. Okay, achieve in a sense, what we get the benefit for that, right? So it should be modular. So and second thing, it's easy to understand, refactorable and debuggable very easily. Okay, if you are going to follow this principle, that is solid principle. Got it? So next, so this solid principle is conceptualized by that person name is what, Robert C. Martin, and their nickname is Uncle Bob. They have given brief info about that solid principle. Okay, this is done, right? Next, so what is the meaning of SOLID? I will tell you now. So S means single responsibility principle. Okay, that is SRP, single responsibility principle. First, then O will come, right? Open closed principle. Third thing, L, Liskov substitution principle. Fourth is the interface segregation principle. And last one, D, dependency inversion principle. So once again, I will tell you. S means single responsibility principle. O means open close principle. L means Liskov substitution principle. I means interface segregation principle. D means dependency inversion principle. So all our principles are there only. Okay, so we will explain each and every one by one. Then we'll come to know why all the principle needs to implement any software or design any software. So single responsibility principle means, right? So this principle defines or it states that, right? So in each and every Java class perform a single responsibility. See, suppose if a class belongs to banking, right? So in the banking means whatever the bank related operation. So if you're going to deposit the amount or withdraw the amount, or suppose you're going to get a bit of the balance, right? So all the functionality belongs to a single class, single responsibility it should be there. So that is the first principle in that single responsibility principle. Second principle is the open close principle. So this principle states that so the modules should be open for extension and closed for modification. What it does mean? So it means that, see, suppose if you're going to create one class, okay, suppose class is the notification, okay, so you are getting the notification with multiple medium, right? So it might be through WhatsApp, might be you can get the notification through the email or phone call, correct? Suppose we are going to create these three methods in a class. Okay, so what it means, so we are only for extension. Okay, it's open for extension, not for modification. So we can't modify in respective method inside this class. Okay, if you need to modify, so that means we need to create some other interface. Okay, in that interface we need to define the respective method by which we are going to get the notification by the email, WhatsApp or phone call. Okay, and you need to implement that class. Okay, whatever the method you need, only for extension, not for modification. We can implementation. We are going to implement our notification interface, but we are not going to modification in respective method in respective interface, right? So this principle defined to us. Okay, third is our Liskov substitution principle. So in that principle, you know what happened. See, first we need to know, so what this principle talks about, right? What principle defines, what is telling to us. So this is the meaning for that principle. So that it defined by the Barbara Liskov, like that. Okay, so what he has told, implemented with the help of inheritance. Okay, with the help of inheritance concept. So once derived class is completely substitutable with the base class. Derived class is completely substitutable with the base class. That is the main principle for that Liskov principle. Okay, Liskov substitution principle. So once you will code, right, so then we will come to know all these things. So how derived class is completely replaced with the base class. Okay, because see, once some method you are going to define in the interface, right? Once you are going to create some implementation class, right? So whatever the method you need to implement, okay, only that method should be implemented. So how it is possible? So that means whatever the method we are going to implement, so only that method should keep inside this interface, correct? Suppose if you keep multiple method in the interface and you are not going to implement each and every method to the exception, correct? So that I am telling. So that means each and everything it should be the substitutable. So that means derived class will be replaced by the base class. When it possible, once we are going to create that much of method in the interface, what we are going to implement. Okay, suppose if we are going to implement two methods only, so we are going to create one interface and define that method inside that. And suppose if we are going to some two other methods which are not needed as of now. Okay, so we'll create some other interface and going to implement. So we can going to completely substitutable, right? That is the main thing for this Liskov substitutable principle. That is third. Fourth principle is interface segregation principle. Okay, it is also similar, we can say SRP, single responsibility principle. So whatever the method we are going to define in the interface, that will only it will use, but that it will implement, not other one. Okay, that is single responsibility principle. It is similar as the interface segregation principle. Once I will code these things, it will come to know very easily. We'll come soon with coding also in this part. Okay, last one is dependency inversion principle. So this principle defined to us. So it is abstraction, right? So abstraction means we are going to achieve abstraction with the help of abstract class or interface, correct? But instead of concrete implementation, high level module should not be depend on the low level module, but it should be depend on the abstraction level. Just like example I am telling now. So suppose if you are going to purchase something in any shopping mall, correct? So once you're going to provide that payment mode to the respective storekeeper, right? So you're going to pay with the help of credit card or debit card. So they don't know how the process is going. If you're going to use the debit card, you're going to use the credit card. The payment will happen, right? But the implementation is different. That is hiding for us, right? The implementation is different. For debit card, different implementation there, and debit card, different implementation there. With UPI, if you're going to pay with the help of UPI, then implementation different, right? That is the example for this principle. That is what? Dependency inversion principle. So that is overall idea of this all principle. So what single responsibility principle, open and close principle, Liskov substitutable principle, and fourth one was interface segregation principle. Last one was dependency inversion principle. So that overall I'm giving the idea here. If this question asked in the interview, so how are going to tell to them how it works in our implementation or designing the software. So all are mainly I'm seeing here all the things are depends on the interface only. Okay, so we're going to get an interface, and inside the interface we're going to get a method how we're going to implement that. So all about that only interface main things. Okay, this SOLID principle what I could see in the implementation by. So that's as of now this topics helpful for the beginner. I have experience also. This question may ask frequently in the interview. Okay, if you know very well, definitely we can elaborate as much as possible to the interviewer. If you don't too much idea about this question, so we can't able to give the answer to them, right? So that's it today's discussion. So we'll come with new video. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe button, and share among your friends, which will boost my motivation. I will bring lots of video in front of you in coming days. Thank you guys. Bye bye.